And welcome back to English Helper, your space to listen, repeat, shadow, and learn English at a slow, natural pace. I'm Eric, and I'm so happy you are here today. In this episode, I will speak slowly, I use clear, simple words, and I repeat ideas so you can shadow my voice, practice your speaking, and build your confidence step by step. Today, we will talk about how to describe your day in English, focusing on the morning. We will cover not just short sentences, but full ideas. What you do in the morning, what happens in your afternoon, and what your evening routine is like. By the end of this episode, you will be able to talk about your day in English using clear and natural sentences. Morning is a very important part of your day. It sets the mood, it gives you energy, and it's a perfect time to speak and think in English, even for a few minutes. Why is it important to practice talking about your day in English? It's important because your day is real. It's something that happens to you every day. You know it well. You don't need to search for words or ideas. You don't need to talk about history, science, or politics. You just need to talk about your life. You can say what time you wake up, what you eat for breakfast, if you go to work or stay at home, or how you feel, tired, busy, happy, or relaxed. And here's the best part. When you describe your own day, you're practicing real English, useful English, English that you can use with other people in real life. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to try. When you talk about your day, you begin to think in English. You begin to speak more naturally, using simple, complete sentences. You stop translating in your head, and you feel more confident when speaking. If you've practiced talking about your day before, you can easily answer questions like, "What did you do today?" You can say, "I woke up at 7, I went to work, I had coffee and answered emails. In the evening, I made dinner and watched TV." That is real communication, and that is your goal. Even if you are alone, you can still practice speaking English by talking about your day. So whenever you don't know what to say, start with something simple. What did I do today? What time did I wake up? What did I eat? These questions help you remember vocabulary, build strong English habits, and help you think in full sentences without stress. You can do this in the morning to talk about yesterday, or in the evening to review today. The key is to keep it simple, use the English you know, and don't worry about mistakes. Just speak. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. One sentence today, 2 sentences tomorrow, a whole story next week. So today, let's build that skill together, step by step, word by word, one real sentence at a time. Part 2. Introduction to Shadowing and Practice Philosophy. Before we start the sentences, let's remember our most powerful technique, shadowing. Shadowing is one of the best techniques to improve your speaking and listening at the same time. It's simple and very powerful. Here is how it works. You listen to someone speaking English, like me right now, and you try to repeat exactly what they say. You don't stop, you don't translate in your mind, and you don't look at a dictionary. You just copy the sound like an echo. You try to say the words at the same speed, with the same tone and the same rhythm as the speaker. At first, it feels a little strange, and you may not understand everything you hear, but that's okay. Shadowing is not about understanding every word. It's about training your brain and your mouth to work together in English. It helps you get used to how English sounds, how it moves, and how it feels in your mouth. If you do this often, even 5 minutes a day, you will start to speak faster, more clearly, and more naturally. It's a small habit with big results. Remember the philosophy. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to speak fast. You just need to try. You just need to keep going slowly, gently, step by step. You are learning. You are doing something difficult, and you are doing it well. Part 3. Essential morning sentences and intensive repetition. Now, let's start at the beginning of the day, the morning. Let's practice some simple morning sentences together. Remember the shadowing technique. Repeat each one slowly. Just listen and then copy my sound and rhythm. Set 1. Waking up. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock. Now you repeat. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock. Repeated slowly. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock. Try to copy the tone. Sometimes I wake up earlier around 6:30 when I have a lot to do. Now you repeat. If I sleep late, I feel tired the next morning. Now you repeat. I stay in bed for a few minutes and think about my day. Now you repeat. I like to take a deep breath and stretch my arms and legs. Now you repeat. Then I sit up slowly and get out of bed. Now you repeat. Let's repeat set 1 again, focusing on clarity. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock. Repeat. Sometimes I wake up earlier around 6:30. Repeat. If I sleep late, I feel tired. Repeat. I stay in bed for a few minutes and think about my day. Repeat. I like to stretch my arms and legs. Repeat. Then I sit up slowly and get out of bed. Repeat. Set 2. Hygiene and dressing. I walk to the bathroom and brush my teeth. Now you repeat. I brush slowly and carefully for 2 minutes. Shadow me now. Then I wash my face with cold water. Now you repeat. It helps me feel awake. Repeat this short phrase. Sometimes I take a quick shower, especially if I feel sleepy. Now you repeat. When I shower, I like to play soft music or listen to English audio. Now you repeat. After my shower, I dry off and put on my clothes. Now you repeat. I try to wear something clean and comfortable. Now you repeat. Sometimes I wear jeans and a t-shirt. Now you repeat. If I have a meeting or class, I wear something more formal. Now you repeat. Let's repeat set 2 again, making sure we copy the rhythm and speed. I walk to the bathroom and brush my teeth. Repeat. I brush slowly and carefully for 2 minutes. Repeat. I wash my face with cold water. Repeat. It helps me feel awake. Repeat. After my shower, I put on my clothes. Repeat. I try to wear something clean and comfortable. Repeat. Set 3. Breakfast and preparation. Next, I go to the kitchen and prepare my breakfast. Now you repeat. I usually eat something simple like toast, eggs, and fruit. Now you repeat. Sometimes I have cereal with milk and a banana. Now you repeat. If I have more time, I make an omelet or oatmeal. Now you repeat. I like to eat slowly so I can enjoy my food. Now you repeat. I drink coffee most mornings. Now you repeat. Sometimes I drink green tea because it feels light and fresh. Now you repeat. While eating, I sometimes watch a short video or check the news. Now you repeat. Other days, I just enjoy the quiet and listen to birds outside. Now you repeat. Before I leave the house, I check my phone. Now you repeat. I look at the time and read my messages. Now you repeat. I check my calendar to see if I have any meetings or appointments. Now you repeat. I pack my bag with everything I need, my phone, notebook, keys, and water bottle. Now you repeat. Then I put on my shoes and go out the door. Now you repeat. Excellent. You are training your mouth muscles. Remember, if you do this often, your speaking becomes smoother and your pronunciation becomes clearer. Part 4. Leaving home and daily routine. After breakfast, I get ready to leave the house. I check that I have everything I need for the day. I put my phone, keys, and wallet in my pocket. I look around the room to make sure I didn't forget anything. Before leaving, I like to open the window for a moment. I take a deep breath of fresh air and feel the sunlight on my face. It makes me feel positive and ready to start the day. Then I lock the door, walk down the stairs, and step outside. The morning air is cool and quiet. I can hear birds singing and people starting their day. Some go to work, some take children to school, and others go for a walk or jog. I walk to the bus stop. While waiting, I sometimes listen to English audio or short podcasts. It helps me stay in the English mood. When the bus comes, I get on and say good morning to the driver. I find a seat and look out the window. I like to notice small things, the trees, the sky, the people walking. If the traffic is slow, I don't worry. I use that time to relax or review vocabulary in my mind. I repeat short phrases quietly to myself. I am on the bus. I'm going to work. The morning is beautiful. These simple sentences help me think in English naturally. Part 5. At work or study. When I arrive at work, I greet my colleagues. I say, "Good morning. How are you today?" It feels nice to start with a smile. I turn on my computer and check my emails. I write short messages, and I try to write them in simple English when possible. If I am a student, I start my first class. I listen to the teacher, take notes, and ask questions when I don't understand something. During the morning, I stay focused on my tasks. I work, study, and try to stay positive. Sometimes I feel a bit tired, so I take a short break. I stand up, stretch, and drink some water. It helps my brain stay fresh. At around 10 or 11, I like to take a short snack. Maybe an apple, a biscuit, or a coffee. Then I get back to work and continue until lunchtime. Part 6. Lunchtime. When it's noon or 1 o'clock, I take a break for lunch. Lunch is a good time to relax and talk to others. I usually eat something simple. Sometimes I bring food from home, like rice and vegetables, or a sandwich. Other times I go out and eat with friends or colleagues. We talk about our day, about work, or about weekend plans. I'd try to use a few English words when I can. Even 1 or 2 sentences make me feel good. After lunch, I take a short walk if the weather is nice. Moving my body helps me feel more awake for the afternoon. Then I go back to my work or study and continue with energy. Part 7. Afternoon routine. In the afternoon, I focus again on my tasks. It's usually the most productive time of day for me. I try to finish important work before evening. If I feel sleepy, I stand up and stretch for a few minutes. I take a deep breath and remind myself to keep going. Around 4 or 5 o'clock, I start to close my computer and prepare to leave. I check what I finished today and make a short list of what I need to do tomorrow. That helps me feel organized and calm. When I leave the office or school, I say goodbye to everyone. See it tomorrow. I like ending the day with kindness and respect. Part 8. Evening routine. After work, I go home. Sometimes I stop at the store to buy a few things, maybe bread, milk, or fruit. When I get home, I take off my shoes, change into comfortable clothes, and relax for a few minutes. I sit on the sofa, breathe deeply, and think, I did well today. Then I prepare dinner. I like to cook simple meals, maybe pasta, soup, or rice with vegetables. While I cook, I sometimes listen to soft music or an English podcast. It helps me unwind and learn at the same time. After dinner, I wash the dishes and clean the kitchen. I like to keep my space tidy because it makes me feel peaceful. Sometimes I call a friend or family member and talk about the day. Other times, I watch a TV show or read a short book in English. Even 10 minutes of reading helps me keep learning new words naturally.
Part 9. Night Routine and Relaxation. Before going to bed, I like to prepare for the next day. I check my calendar and set my alarm. I put my clothes ready for tomorrow so I don't have to rush in the morning. Then I brush my teeth and wash my face. I turn off bright lights and make my room quiet and calm. Sometimes I sit for a few minutes and think about my day. I ask myself, what did I do well today? What can I do better tomorrow? It's a good way to end the day with reflection and gratitude. Before sleeping, I say a few positive sentences to myself. I am learning every day. My English is improving. I am proud of myself. Then I close my eyes, take a deep breath, and fall asleep peacefully.
Part 10. Closing Motivation and Encouragement. You did a great job today. You listened, repeated, shadowed, and practiced real English sentences about daily life. Every time you speak, even a few words, you are training your brain and your mouth to move together in English. You are building a habit, and habits make success. Remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. 1 minute today, 5 minutes tomorrow, it all counts. Each time you describe your day in English, you become more confident, more natural, and more fluent. So keep practicing every day. Talk to yourself in English when you wake up, when you walk, when you cook. Make English part of your life, not just a subject. I'm proud of you for taking time to learn and grow. You are doing something positive for your future. Thank you for listening to English Helper. I'm Eric, and I'll see you in the next episode. Keep speaking, keep smiling, and keep learning. Bye for now.